Okay, the stream is live. Host, we are in gallery view. Could you please put us on speaker view? Okay, we're currently on speaker view. The stream has been confirmed. Turning on the computer recording. Cloud recording is rolling. Good afternoon. Welcome to New York City Council's remote committee hearing on housing and buildings. Everyone, please turn on your video at this time. Silence all electronic devices. Any written testimony can be submitted to testimony@council.nyc.gov. Thank you. Chair Sanchez, we are ready to begin.
Thank you so much. Good afternoon. I am Councilmember Pierina Sanchez, Chair of the New York City Council's Committee on Housing and Buildings. We are here to vote on 3 bills to help improve residential fire safety following a string of devastating building fires in the city. The cost of residential building fires has been far too high. Human life, city's housing stock. These costs are preventable, and the City Council has a responsibility to take measures within our authority to ensure the safety of New Yorkers. Recognizing that these bills are just one part of a continuous effort toward a safer, more equitable city, the committee is today voting on 3 bills that represent a small but significant step towards improving building safety and to help preventing tragedies like we saw at Twin Parks from happening again. The first 2 bills are sponsored by Councilmember Feliz and aim to improve the enforcement of self-closing door requirements, which are an important, critical safeguard in preventing the spread of fire and smoke when a building catches fire. Proposed introduction number 104A clarifies that self-closing doors must return to the closed position and latch shut. This is a clarification on the definition, and it is an important one. Proposed introduction number 105A reduces the number of days a self-closing door violation must be corrected from 21 days to 14 days, and requires HPD to conduct re-inspection within 20 days afterwards. It also increases penalties for self-closing door violations. The third bill, proposed intro number 155A, sponsored by Councilmember Carr, is meant to provide a measure of relief to small property owners whose buildings have been damaged by a fire by waiving permit filing fees when they are needed to repair damage caused by a fire or to correct a construction defect discovered after the fire. I am joined today by my colleagues, Councilmember Aviles, Councilmember Barron, Councilmember Hudson, Councilmember Kagan, Councilmember Shulman, Councilmember Carr, Councilmember Feliz, Councilwoman Caban, and Councilmember Dinowitz, who is very impressively also chairing a hearing at this time. And with that, I want to now turn it over to the bill sponsors, first to Councilmember Feliz and then to Councilmember Carr to speak about their bills. Councilmember Feliz.
Thank you so much, Chair Sanchez. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Councilmember Oswald Feliz. I proudly represent the 15th District, the district that was affected by the unspeakable Twin Parks tragedy. That tragedy that we saw that ugly Sunday morning was avoidable. Properly functioning self-closing doors would have prevented that unspeakable tragedy in Twin Parks. Had those self-closing doors properly functioned, smoke would not have filled the entire building, and families would have been able to safely escape that tragedy and that fire. These fire safety bills will help ensure that another similar tragedy never happens again. These bills will ensure that self-closing door laws are scrupulously honored and scrupulously enforced. The mandatory inspections and the increased civil penalties will help ensure that violations, all housing violations, but specifically on the issue of self-closing doors, those violations are taken seriously and they are promptly corrected. And landlords that fail to do so are also held accountable. Self-closing door laws are critical tools to fighting fires and are also critical to saving lives. Again, in that Twin Parks tragedy, had those self-closing doors worked, 17 lives lost due to smoke inhalation. Not one life would have been lost had those self-closing doors worked. So I want to thank everyone that helped these bills make it this far, including and especially Speaker Adrian Adams, and also members of our Fire Safety Task Force, including Chair Sanchez, Chair Ariola, and Council Members Aviles and Council Member Farias. This is a bill that will improve fire safety in the city of New York by helping ensure that in the case where there is a fire, families can safely escape. This will improve fire safety and it will save lives. Hoping that my colleagues support me in this bill and support our quest to improve fire safety in the city of New York. Thank you so much.
Great, thank you so much, Councilmember Feliz. I'd also like to acknowledge that we've been joined by Councilmember Yager. Councilmember Carr?
Thank you, Chair Sanchez. I urge my colleagues to vote in support of Intro 155A today. This bill was introduced in response to a fire that took place on Staten Island that was the result of a defect in a home that not only affected the home that was subject to the fire, but as well as others in the same development. And so I think it's appropriate for the city to facilitate the rebuilding of homes that are damaged by fires related to defects, as well as those who discover that they have this defect and now want to take action to prevent a similar tragedy from occurring to them. And if the city has an opportunity to help small homeowners save a little time and go through a little less effort to safeguard their homes and their lives, then we should do that. And so that's what this bill intends to do. I really appreciate the support of the Speaker, Minority Leader Borelli, and all his encouragement, and in particular, the leadership of Chair Sanchez and her team, Committee Counsel Audrey Sun, as well as Chairs Ariola and Feliz for their leadership on this issue in the wake of the terrible tragedy in Councilmember Feliz's district. So I urge all my colleagues to vote yes. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Councilmember Carr. I now want to turn it to any committee members who have questions. I see Councilmember Barron. I see your hand is up.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. These are very, very important life-saving bills, life-saving pieces of legislation. I'll be honored. I just wanted to ask the Chair's permission to vote on all the bills on the calendar. I do have to make a presentation. The Chancellor of Higher Education is waiting for me to beat him up. He would be very disappointed if I didn't get there to put a whooping on him. So I'm requesting to be excused, and I vote aye on all the items.
Sure thing. Thank you so much, Councilmember Barron.
Thank you,
Sergeant William, that's okay with you? Got it? All right. Thank you so much, Councilmember Barron.
Thank you.
All right. Wonderful. So I'll now ask the clerk to call the roll.
William Martin, Committee Clerk, roll call vote, Committee on Housing and Buildings, proposed introductions 104A, 105A, and 155A. Items are coupled. Chair Sanchez.
Aye on all.
Thank you. Dinowitz. Councilmember Dinowitz. We'll come
I
back.
will text him. We can come back.
Councilmember Feliz.
Aye on all. Thank you.
Thank you. Aviles.
Aye on all. Thanks to my colleagues for this work. It's very important.
Thank you. Caban.
Gratitude to my colleagues and aye on all.
Thank you. Councilmember Hudson.
I'm aye on intros number 104 and 105, and I abstain on intro number 155.
Thank you. Councilmember Kagan.
Hey guys, don't leave. Mom's gonna give you guys.
Aye on all.
Thank you. Carr.
Aye on all.
Excuse me. Thank you. Councilmember Dinowitz.
Hello.
Yes, sir. We'll take your vote whenever you're ready.
Yes on all.
Thank you, sir. Okay, by vote of 9 in the affirmative, 0 in the negative, and no abstentions, introductions 104A and 105A have been adopted by the committee, and with a vote of 8 in the affirmative, 0 in the negative, and 1 abstention, proposed introduction 155A has also been adopted by the committee. Madam Chair, that is a full committee. You can close at your convenience.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Clerk. And thank you to everyone who is here today. So at 4 p.m., the Committee on Fire Safety will be voting on several other pieces of legislation. And I'd also just like to note that I want to appreciate the leadership of Councilmember Felice and Councilmembers Ariola and so many of you who have come together to respond and introduce legislation. This is just the first package, and there's a lot more coming down the pike. And I look forward to improving and finalizing those pieces of legislation with you all. Thank you so much.